Muito boa tarde para você que acompanha a programação da TV Câmara. Uma ótima sexta-feira a todos. Falamos ao vivo do plenário da Câmara Municipal e hoje é um dia muito especial por aqui. É a cerimônia de encerramento da 35ª edição do Space Studies Program, reconhecido como o maior programa de estudos sobre o espaço do mundo. Boa tarde, Marvin.
Francine, boa tarde para você, boa tarde a todos que nos acompanham. Bom, foram mais de 60 dias, 60 dias intensos de evento, mais de 300 pessoas de 50 países diferentes participaram dessa programação, realizada pela Universidade Internacional do Espaço, Fran, em parceria com o INPE, o ITA, a Prefeitura de São José dos Campos. O programa teve aí eventos abertos à comunidade, competição de robótica, lançamento de foguetes, sessões de cinema, uma verdadeira imersão no universo da ciência espacial, né, Fran?
Muito legal, muito legal. E claro que parte dessa turma que fez tudo isso acontecer, Marvin, está aqui agora, no plenário da Câmara. Então vamos aproveitar para dar uma olhadinha na movimentação antes do início da cerimônia de encerramento? Vamos para o plenário para ver como está a movimentação?
Com certeza, olha lá, alguns convidados já presentes, o pessoal aproveita para tirar uma foto, bandeira dos 30 países, de 30 países já ali colocadas. Fran, a primeira fila ali foi separada para autoridades internacionais, diretor da NASA vai estar ali, enfim, expectativa de que daqui a pouco o plenário esteja cheio, né?
Com certeza, muita movimentação e por enquanto o pessoal aproveita para fazer uma selfie ali, que eu estava vendo que a galera está fazendo selfie, aproveitando para registrar esse momento, porque de fato marca a vida de um estudante, né?
Sem dúvida nenhuma.
Uma experiência e tanto,
Quem vive uma experiência como essa não vai esquecer tão cedo,
Com certeza.
E olha só, professores, pesquisadores e líderes de agências espaciais movimentaram a cidade, como a gente disse, compartilhando aí conhecimento. Logo na abertura, alunos da rede de ensino da região viveram uma experiência e tanto, viu? Conheceram de pertinho 2 astronautas que contaram como é uma viagem ao espaço. Vamos relembrar como foi esse momento agora na reportagem.
Em meio a robôs gigantes e até uma banda, a atenção de centenas de jovens de diversas escolas de São José dos Campos estava voltada para o que acontecia no palco. Lá estavam a americana Cian Proctor e o canadense Robert Tursky, 2 astronautas que já participaram de missões espaciais e foram atrações principais de uma palestra na Arena de Esportes durante a Space Studies Program 2023. Um momento de aventura e tanto, até para quem esteve em órbita fora da Terra.
The two of us met the Brazilians next generation today. And if there's one or two people in that audience today who are starting to dream about doing something incredible, I think our job is done.
You gotta have hope. And so for me, as a kid, I wanted to be an astronaut and a pilot. And those dreams sometimes slip away as we become adults. But I never gave up hope. I always had hope that one day that I would make it to space.
Após responder às perguntas dos estudantes, Cian e Robert tiveram as mãos escaneadas. Posteriormente, esses moldes serão impressos em 3D e expostos no Museu de Ciência de São José. Mãos que fizeram história, já que Robert liderou uma equipe internacional responsável por desenhar uma roupa antigravidade, que auxilia os astronautas a suportar os efeitos dos voos espaciais. E Cian, por ter sido, em 2021, a primeira afro-americana a pilotar uma espaçonave e a 4ª mulher negra na história a ir para o espaço. E tudo isso aos 51 anos de idade.
When you go to space, it changes you because of that orbital perspective. You get this overview effect of our planet, and being in low Earth orbit, you get bathed in Earth light. It's almost like being baptized by our beautiful planet. And you come back and you have this sense of wanting to make the world a better place in whatever way you can. And to inspire people to also want to make our world an amazing place.
E essa oportunidade única de contato que os estudantes estão tendo com esses profissionais pode, quem sabe, incentivar o surgimento de novos engenheiros ou até mesmo novos astronautas.
Muitas crianças têm vontade de ser astronautas, e ir para o espaço, E hoje ser astronauta não é só mais aquele astronauta da NASA que tem que fazer uma preparação intensa, ser praticamente um herói. E não só a vontade de ser astronauta, mas também ser engenheiro espacial, trabalhar numa empresa de foguetes. O Brasil já está entrando nesse tema também, então as crianças começam a ficar mais próxima dessa realidade. Eu acho que a educação ela é um motor de todo o país desenvolvido. Por isso que o INPE lá atrás tentou trazer, tivemos muita dificuldade, e juntando essas forças com a Prefeitura e com o ITA, conseguimos trazer esse sistema para o Brasil, o Space Studies Program, que é um evento que dura 10 semanas.
Empolgados, alguns estudantes que estiveram na arena de esportes já começaram a pensar como essa experiência pode, no futuro, aproximá-los ainda mais da ciência.
Eu acho bem legal ver um astronauta ao vivo, que eu sempre olho quando o foguete é lançado e eu sempre quis ver.
É uma grande oportunidade, eu estou me sentindo muito feliz aqui, é tudo muito legal e está sendo bem legal ouvir as pessoas falarem. São várias pessoas que já foram para o espaço, trazendo as vivências deles para a gente.
E para esses jovens que são fascinados pela ciência, pelos planetas e pelo espaço, a CIAN tem uma palavra de incentivo, principalmente para as meninas.
And I think that's the big thing for women is to keep those dreams alive. A lot of times we'll take our childhood dreams and we'll set them aside because we're raising families and we're doing other things. But it's never too late to pursue them. And I'm a prime example of that. I went to space at 51, as a seasoned individual. And so I want to encourage girls and women around the world that anything's possible at any age.
Nossa, que bacana, né, Marvin? Passou tão rápido, né? 60 dias?
60 dias e passou voando.
Pois é, né? E o desafio de sediar o SSP começou com uma proposta apresentada em conjunto pelo INPE e pelo ITA. O evento é um sonho realizado para essas instituições, porque algumas das maiores autoridades do mundo, quando o assunto é pesquisa e desenvolvimento social, passaram aqui por São José. Agora, o que a gente quer saber é o que essa troca de conhecimento representou. Por isso, o repórter Tiago Bezerra está com o diretor do INPE, Clésio Dinardim, e fala agora ao vivo com a gente. Oi, Tiago, boa tarde.
Oi, pessoal, boa tarde para vocês, boa tarde para todo mundo que está aqui acompanhando a programação da TV Câmara São José. Pois é, um grande evento, né? SSP, Space Studies Program, um dos maiores eventos do mercado espacial do mundo acontecendo aqui na nossa cidade. Então, olha só que privilégio, né? Ao longo desses últimos dias, muita gente teve contato de alguma maneira com a programação e uma dessas pessoas está aqui ao meu lado, é o Clésio, que vai passar mais detalhes para a gente. Clésio, antes de falar do evento como um todo, quero falar com você a respeito da sua vivência. Como é que foi essa experiência de ter tantas pessoas, tantos profissionais renomados na nossa cidade para um evento tão importante, né? Boa tarde.
Boa tarde a todo mundo que assiste a TV Câmara. É um prazer estar aqui mais uma vez conversando sobre esse assunto importante para a nossa cidade. Olha, é uma experiência única, é óbvio. O INPE é uma instituição internacional, nós temos contatos no mundo afora, nós trabalhamos com várias pessoas das principais agências mundiais, mas ter todas essas pessoas concentradas aqui em São José dos Campos, vemos 2, 3 astronautas, acho que é o maior número de astronautas por metro quadrado da América Latina, trazendo todas essas pessoas para cá, para discutir futuro do programa espacial, como que o espaço pode interagir com a cidade inteligente que é São José dos Campos, como que o espaço pode ajudar a organizar a questão da água. Então, isso foi fantástico, conversar com todas essas pessoas ao mesmo tempo e não isoladamente, promover um debate absolutamente rico.
São pontos muito importantes, assuntos que fazem toda a diferença, principalmente quando a gente está falando de estudos, de desenvolvimento de trabalhos, levando tudo isso em consideração, que vocês debateram, conversaram ali na prática. Isso muda o trabalho do INPE a partir de agora?
Claro que muda. Nós trouxemos cérebros do Brasil todo e de todo o exterior, ou seja, foram 100 integrantes que vieram fazer o curso de todo mundo. Então, pessoas que trabalham. Tinham entre nós, por exemplo, um dos integrantes que trabalhou na sonda que pousou no polo da Lua, que apareceu em todos os jornais nessa semana passada. O rapaz estava aqui trabalhando com a gente, trabalhando no INPE. Então, veja, esse ambiente rico, com essas pessoas que trabalham no setor espacial, dá uma visão diferente. Botar todas essas pessoas por 10 semanas para discutir assuntos de interesse do Brasil, interesse das cidades do Brasil, interesse da água do Brasil. Ou seja,
trazer todo esse pessoal para pensar a respeito, certamente acelera todo o processo que a gente gostaria de ver o nosso país avançar, né? Na questão, principalmente na questão da água, que é uma questão muito cara para mim.
Clésio, é diferente, o que você disse, né? O INPE é uma instituição gigantesca, está presente no mundo todo, o trabalho que a gente desenvolve em São José dos Campos, ele é visto no mundo inteiro. Então vocês têm contato com essas pessoas de várias nacionalidades e pessoas inteligentíssimas, com trabalho importantíssimos o tempo todo, mas receber em casa é diferente?
É diferente, é sempre diferente, né? Porque nós viajamos, como você disse, nós estamos nos principais fóruns. O ITA também é outra instituição absolutamente relevante, a cidade de São José dos Campos já está ficando absolutamente conhecida no mundo afora, mas o INPE já é conhecido. Ele tem o que nós chamamos de footprint, aquela pegada, aquela marca. Falou o nome INPE lá fora, no setor espacial, todo mundo já conhece, mas ninguém veio aqui ver.
Agora veio.
Agora veio conhecer o INPE, veio conhecer as instalações, veio conhecer todos os nossos funcionários, veio ver o nosso parceiro aqui do lado, o ITA, veio ver onde forma uma boa educação, veio conhecer a nossa cidade, as nossas ruas, os nossos hotéis, ou seja, é absolutamente diferente e traz um alento no coração ver todas essas pessoas saírem daqui com a impressão que eu estou vendo eles saírem.
Uma boa impressão, né? E deixa o pessoal motivado. Clésio, muito obrigado pela sua entrevista. Então é isso, né? A gente vê um evento dessa proporção, trazendo esperança, inclusive, de novos trabalhos, de novas evoluções na área espacial, inclusive para grandes instituições renomadíssimas como o INPE. Fran, Marvin...
Tiago, muito obrigado pela participação. Obrigado também ao Clésio pela participação aqui na TV Câmara. E olha só, vamos dar uma olhadinha de novo. Como que tá o movimento lá,
Vamos espiar um pouquinho, né? A gente quer ver de perto aqui essa movimentação.
A gente já conseguiu perceber o cenário totalmente diferente, ó. Casa cheia, já cada vez mais pessoas chegando. Expectativa aí do início do evento a partir das 2h da tarde. Eu vou passar aqui a lista de alguns convidados, viu? Algumas pessoas presentes. Bom, o Clésio, como a gente já viu, já tá aqui, diretor do INPE. Anderson Ribeiro Correia, reitor do ITA. Tem o prefeito de São José dos Campos, Anderson Faria, o Val Munsamer, é o chanceler da Universidade Internacional do Espaço, James Lewis, diretor da NASA e também da ISU, né, a Universidade Internacional do Espaço, além de diversas outras autoridades internacionais quando se trata de desenvolvimento e tecnologia aeroespacial.
Acabei de ver também o presidente da casa chegando aqui, ele vai se posicionar na primeira fileira, junto com as outras autoridades. E olha só, daqui a pouquinho nós vamos conhecer onde vai acontecer a edição de 2024. Né, Marvin?
Exatamente, já foi definido o país, vai ser nos Estados Unidos, mais uma vez. Eles vão anunciar daqui a pouquinho a cidade. São José sediou o SSP 23, mas o evento continua ano que vem realizado em outro país.
Pois é, foi a primeira vez que o evento aconteceu aqui no Brasil. E olha, o Space Studies Program se espalhou por São José dos Campos, a programação alcançou os lugares mais variados da cidade e, claro, o evento também chegou à Câmara, antes dessa cerimônia, viu? Os cientistas já passaram por aqui, de diversos países, conheceram um pouco do prédio, do Legislativo e também do estúdio da TV. E em um mundo tão conectado, né, Marvin?
Sem
cheio
dúvida.
de notícias e redes sociais, o que eles fizeram aqui? Eles aprenderam a se preparar para uma entrevista de imprensa e lidar com a velocidade da informação.
Atenção a cada palavra. Eles são cientistas internacionais das mais diversas áreas, sempre em busca de conhecimento. E hoje, o tema de estudo não envolve cálculos e equações. O assunto da vez é comunicação. O objetivo do treinamento realizado aqui na Câmara Municipal foi preparar os cientistas para entrevistas. A Cláudia veio preparada para aprender.
Adquirir um pouco da habilidade que vocês têm para fazer entrevista com as pessoas e conseguir transmitir a informação que a gente tem e que às vezes não conseguimos usar a linguagem apropriada para passar. Transmitir a mensagem da forma mais adequada, isso é o mais difícil.
A Ayla veio do Reino Unido. Já deu algumas entrevistas. Mesmo assim, quer melhorar.
I've given a few interviews before in my profession. I've been asked to discuss scientific findings for BBC and Chinese state television. I think giving interviews is quite difficult actually. Normally you get quite tense and it feels quite unnatural sometimes to have to make short, concise answers to questions. So I think this should be really useful to be able to do that better.
Nos estúdios da TV Câmara, os estudantes puderam entender um pouco mais da dinâmica de uma entrevista. Todo o trabalho foi conduzido pela Ana, responsável pela comunicação do Instituto de Estudos Espaciais da Catalunha.
Los participantes que hoy están aquí lo que quieren es entrenarse para llegar a una entrevista más tranquilos y con unas ideas básicas. Entonces, las ideas más importantes serían, primero de todo, intentar tú conducir la entrevista. Es decir, como tener el control de la situación, mostrarte tranquilo, estar sentado cómodo, verte seguro, entusiasta, es decir, transmitir que te gusta y que tienes pasión por lo que estás explicando. Y también es muy importante entender a la audiencia, saber qué público tienes e intentar utilizar un lenguaje fácil, entendible.
Teve ainda a participação remota, direto da Espanha. O cientista e ex-presidente da International Space University contribuiu com o treinamento.
And you're telling your whole life to the journalist. It may happen that the journalist then says, "So what? Why are you telling me all this? Why is this important?" And then you realize that you forgot to say why you're doing all this. What is it good for? So the lesson learned is start with saying what's important and why this is important, what you're doing. So if you say that at the beginning, then you have solved the problem.
O evento fez parte do SSP 23, o Space Studies Program, realizado em São José dos Campos. E é importante que cada um deles saiba bem como dar uma entrevista. Afinal de contas, podem ser os futuros líderes de agências espaciais pelo mundo. Por isso, o treinamento não ficou só na teoria, não. Os participantes fizeram entrevistas entre si. O desafio foi colocar em prática o que estavam aprendendo.
The training was very excellent. I really enjoyed it. It was very well structured and everyone was really well participated and the instructors were excellent. This is much more than I've ever done before.
O esforço da turma foi reconhecido pela professora, que viu o potencial dos futuros porta-vozes.
Pues la verdad es que la formación de los participantes es muy variada y hay gente de carreras técnicas, hay muchos ingenieros, por ejemplo, o físicos o gente de ciencias, pero también hay abogados, también hay gente más de humanidades. Entonces, para todos ellos puede ser importante en algún momento de la vida saber explicar qué trabajo hacen o por qué es importante el trabajo que hacen. Y algunos de ellos igual acabarán trabajando como presidentes de alguna compañía del espacio o en una agencia espacial. Y es muy importante saber comunicar en momentos, por ejemplo, en un lanzamiento espacial, pues saber contestar a las preguntas de los periodistas, estar tranquilo, es decir, son situaciones en las que pueden encontrarse muy a menudo en sus vidas profesionales.
É isso, né? Todo mundo hoje precisa estar preparado, né, para entrevistas. Hoje o mundo está completamente conectado, não tem como escapar. Nem cientista, nem pesquisador, nada, ninguém, nem estudante, então tem que estar todo mundo preparado.
A qualquer momento, uma entrevista remota, qualquer situação, pode ter uma entrevista, inclusive agora.
Pois é.
Porque o Thiago Bezerra, nosso repórter, está lá no plenário com o prefeito Anderson Farias para trazer também, contar um pouco do impacto para a cidade do Space Studies Program. A gente chama ele mais uma vez. Thiago, é com você.
Pois é, né, gente? Acho que não tem caminho mais eficiente, mais bonito também para a evolução da sociedade do que a educação. E o foco desse evento aqui ao longo das últimas semanas em São José foi justamente a educação, né? Então, como é que será que ficam as próximas gerações que viveram tudo isso na prática? Vou desenrolar um pouquinho esse assunto com o prefeito de São José, que está aqui ao meu lado. Prefeito, vamos lá, a gente teve um evento super bacana ao longo dos últimos dias e a gente teve participação efetiva da sociedade josense, né? Especialmente os nossos estudantes. O senhor acredita que foi uma troca interessante? A gente pode esperar, de repente, que as novas gerações vão vir impactadas por todo o conteúdo que elas consumiram aqui ao longo dos últimos dias? Boa tarde.
Boa tarde. Tenho certeza. Acho que plantamos uma e vai dar bons frutos. Aproveitamos, né, muito bem essa estadia desses profissionais, desses estudantes, dos astronautas, dos professores, dos cientistas que por aqui passaram, aqui estão, nessas 9 semanas, a gente teve como fazer essa grande interação com a cidade, principalmente com as nossas crianças, jovens e adolescentes, as nossas escolas. Então isso foi importante, foi muito importante, não só privadas, com as escolas estaduais, com todos. Então, acho que isso daí foi um grande ganho. Primeiro, né, agradecer a ISU, a International Space University, por ter escolhido, dentro de um processo muito criterioso, São José dos Campos, né, o nosso estado de São Paulo, o nosso país, o Brasil, de recebermos um evento como este, o maior evento, né, de estudos espaciais, né, aqui em nossa cidade. Para nós é de muito orgulho. Então, é agradecimento, também um agradecimento especial, né, à Câmara Municipal, né, ao Legislativo, que hoje aqui cedendo esse espaço para que a gente possa fazer o encerramento deste evento, também ao INPE, ao ITA e ao DCTA, que foi através deles aí que conseguiram, né, também do seu trabalho, de toda a parte acadêmica no ITA, para que a gente pudesse receber um evento desta magnitude aqui.
E foi um evento grandioso mesmo, né, que está se encerrando agora. Ao longo das últimas semanas, a gente teve contato com profissionais que vieram de várias partes do mundo, profissionais, inclusive, que são cientistas da NASA, que têm, assim, um legado interessante, né, para ceder para as pessoas. O senhor que teve contato com, não só diretamente com esses profissionais, mas com quem teve essa oportunidade da vivência, né, os alunos da rede, os professores da rede, qual que é a resposta que eles trazem?
Olha, de muito positivo. Você imagina um evento com 4.000 crianças na Arena Farmaconde, onde eles tiveram a oportunidade de, ao vivo, conversar ali pessoalmente com 2 astronautas, uma mulher e um homem. Você imagina a experiência, eles contando a experiência de vida deles. Você imagina essa sementinha. Esses 4.000 alunos, nós adultos que lá estávamos, né, mais esses alunos, você imagina, nós vamos levar essa história para o resto da vida. Você imagina eles, essas nossas crianças, o quanto levarão e contarão essa história. E você imagina, né, lá tiveram a oportunidade também de conversar com 3, né, astronautas que estavam numa estação espacial chinesa. Então você imagina tudo isso. O ex-chefe da NASA esteve no Brasil conversando com os nossos alunos e professores. Então isso realmente é
inesquecível.
É uma bela semente inesquecível.
Prefeito, muito obrigado pela entrevista. Então, a experiência que todo mundo vai levar na memória, com certeza. A gente vai ter frutos disso na educação e com certeza na economia de São José também. Fran, Marvin.
Legal entender, né, Fran, a importância que o evento tem para a cidade, né, um evento de proporção internacional, a proporção internacional, mas também deixa um legado aí para São José dos Campos, né?
Ah, com certeza, né? A gente estava comentando aqui sobre as lembranças que esse evento acaba deixando para, por exemplo, crianças, estudantes, e como isso é importante, né? De repente, uma conversa, um bate-papo pode despertar o interesse pela ciência que aquela criança, de repente, nunca pensou, né, em seguir uma carreira, por exemplo. Então, essa troca é muito rica. Isso a gente está falando de um legado para as crianças, né? Para os futuros cientistas, futuros pesquisadores, mas claro que a cidade também é impactada com tudo isso, né? Com essa troca de conhecimento.
Sem dúvida, a longo prazo também, né? Pensando nas crianças. Nós tivemos, por exemplo, a presença do James Green, ex-diretor da NASA, consultor de roteiro também, né?
Pois é.
Foi o consultor aí do Perdido em Marte, um filme super legal, mas enfim, as crianças tiveram a proximidade com ele, uma troca muito grande que com certeza as crianças não esquecem.
Com certeza, viu? E olha, tá quase na hora de começar a cerimônia de encerramento, quase tudo pronto. Então vamos dar mais uma espiadinha ali no plenário. A movimentação é bastante intensa, né? A gente já tinha falado aí das bandeiras. Olha que lindo que tá. Tá muito bacana. A galera já tá se preparando, né? Existe sempre uma movimentação ali de entrega de certificados, entregas de homenagens. A gente viu um pouquinho antes, né? E claro que a gente vai acompanhar tudo isso de perto aqui na programação da TV Câmara. Inclusive, foi uma super oportunidade para a gente, né, Marvin, participar desse evento, porque de alguma maneira a gente pode levar até vocês um pouquinho do que estava acontecendo pela cidade.
Toda a cidade, sem dúvida. E isso é que o pessoal acompanhou aqui, as entrevistas, a diplomação que aconteceu aqui há pouco, foi só um aquecimento para o evento, né? A cerimônia começa já aqui no plenário da Câmara.
Tá certo, então. Muito obrigada pela companhia de vocês e até a próxima. Aproveitem aí a cerimônia de encerramento do Studies Program, Space Studies Program.
SSP 23, aqui em São José dos Campos.
Um abraço para vocês.
Greetings, everyone. It is so great to see everyone here this afternoon, and thank you for coming today for the closing ceremony for this year's Space Studies program, SSP 23, and thank you everybody online as well that is tuned in from abroad. We have an exciting show packed for you today. We're going to have great speakers, and then in a minute, we're going to have all the participants walk in a parade. But today is the last official day of the program, which began exactly 9 weeks ago. In case anybody here still does not know me or has not met me, my name is James Lewis, and it has been the utmost pleasure to serve this year's director alongside my co-director and my friend, Göktuğ Karakalioglu. We are both excited, yet we're sad to state that we have come to the end of SSP 23. As a reminder, SSP is a truly unique program. 9-week immersive professional development course. What you may not know is that equal parts academic lecturer, hands-on fundamental and elective workshops, individual department projects, a capstone team project with a publishable report, and oh, by the way, the one that the participants really didn't know about, so don't tell them, this is also a 9-week psychological study for deep space astronauts. Okay, that was really not officially true, but I'm sure some scientific papers could be written just by watching the program. Next, it's really, really, really important to thank our 3 very, very gracious hosts that have made really the event here in this location happen. Because it's been a lot of hard work over a number of years to really get to the point that we could have this program and have all the pieces come together in a way that makes for a successful program. Our 3 SSP host locations this year are the National Institute for Space Research, the Aeronautics Institute of Technology, and the city of São José dos Campos. They have done such a wonderful job. Without them, what has happened just really wouldn't be possible. And again, thank you so very much, and I want to give you guys a round of applause for all of the people in all the places that have done this. The next slide is going to show you also a lot of institutions have been on board for a long time to support this. So we have 48 sponsors this year. And can be seen, I think, here on the big screen, as well as the individual sponsors. I do like to point out that there are actually individuals in the community who do contribute from a personal perspective, Val being one of them, and we'll meet Val later. But because there's 48 sponsors, I don't really want to spend the time to read all of them, but you can see them here on the big screen. But again, understand that it took a lot of effort by a lot of people to bring the resources together. And so again, I really want to thank all the sponsors for all their support. You can look through there, you can read for a few seconds and recognize really big names. So again, thank you to all you sponsors for all of the support. In a minute, we're going to actually invite our participants to come in the venue. But I first wish to offer that during the opening ceremony 9 weeks ago, each participant walked into the opening ceremony under or behind their own country's flag, which at that time represents the rich, wonderful, and cultural diversity for each of those participating countries. Now, today's procession is different. Instead of marching under their own flag, you can see that these flags are already placed behind me here. Instead, they will walk together unified behind the ISU flag. This signifies that they have now joined a new family, a new tribe, and they are now part of the ISU alumni family as well. So please join with me in enthusiastically welcoming the newest members of the ISU family. Good job. Good job. Good job. job. Good job, Lucia. Good job, man. Glad you did it. Good job. 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 Go Canada. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job, guys.
Thank you very much.
Good job. I don't know about y'all, but it seemed like there was about 200 of them today. We are a little behind, and we have a long program, so I'm going to let them quietly get sitting here. It wasn't very long ago that we were welcoming this class of SSP 23 at the opening ceremony, and oh my, how does time fly. It just seems like yesterday we were there at Park Tech and we had the great opening ceremony. Personally, I can tell you that it has been an utmost pleasure for me to get to meet and interact with this year's participants. They are a wonderful group of people. Come from lots of places, bring lots of diversity and lots of energy. Hard to keep up with that energy. I wish I only had more time to get to know each of you better. But I leave here comforted knowing that we are really just a few clicks away from discussion any time of the day or night. Well, not the night, So if you ever want to reach out, you want to connect, or just post something and let us know how you're doing, that's really easy to do this way these days. There are so many great memories of you, and to give everyone else a little bit of idea, as well as certainly not all of our activities, but some, we have a wonderful video to share with you, which was developed by our comms team.
So my name is Alexandre da Silva, and I'm a faculty at the University of Minho in Portugal. So I'm Vedant Palmoga. I come from France and India. I currently work at the European Space Agency in the Netherlands at ESTEC. Yeah.
My name is Umar. I come from Spain, from a little town next to Barcelona. And right now I'm still a student. I just finished my master's and I'm looking for a PhD position.
My name is Ayush Ghosh. I'm from Canada, and I'm a recent graduate of mechatronics engineering.
My name is Flavia Fayette-Moore. I'm a nutrition scientist, and I'm from Australia. Born in Brazil, raised in Canada.
Yes, we are all here with one common passion, is space. So that's amazing. You basically breathe space during all day, from the beginning with the lectures, but to the end, to the night, we are all together in a more social timing, and that's incredible. It's like a fast track to put yourself in space.
I think what I realized being here is that this was a people program. I loved connecting with everyone in this program also because we are so multicultural, international people from so many different backgrounds, and we all have the same passion, which is space.
If you have a dream, just follow it. Don't take anything for granted. Like, be grateful of everything you have, but also all the ideas are valid, and you can always use whatever you wanna use. Like whatever idea you have, you can use it in another way or in another one to benefit the world around you and to benefit others. And just don't be afraid and go for it.
Yeah, so when I was first coming into SSP, I wasn't sure how I would fit into this program. And when I started talking with the participants here, it kind of opened my eyes as to, to understand that everybody is experts in their own field, but that would mean that I'm also an expert in my field. And so it helped me figure out my place at SSP and between the participants, and it kind of helped me figure out that, I have a lot to learn from others, and they have a lot to learn from me as well. And so that was really eye-opening for me.
I've told many of the participants here how it's just so amazing to be in a group of people that are just like you. So often when you're outside, SSP, you kind of have unique skills and you stand out a bit. But here, we're all the same, and it's just so nice to be among people that are just like you, like as nerdy, as adventurous, no judgment. We're all kind of the same. So it's kind of like you found your people that are like you, and you can just be truly you.
There are many types of different events, right? So from distinguished lectures that gives you that opportunity to be close to some people that you never imagined knowing, like astronauts, and take photos with them. It's amazing, right? But then your workshops is very specific for your department, so rocket launches or balloon launches or doing an EVA, like a kind of a simulated EVA, but still you are going to the swimming pool with your gear, swimming gear and diving gear, so it's amazing, and experience that and go through that, but with a kind of a briefing before, understanding that this is a simulation for what will happen real for an astronaut training course. It's amazing for sure.
That everything we do, it may be sports, may it be our personal life, may it be professional, everything is linked to how you're able to associate yourself in front of different people, how you maintain relationships. I think that is the key outcome that I got out of this program, is how the way you behave with people and the way people perceive you is very important to the kind of future you're going to have, maybe in your professional background, but also in your personal space. And I felt that this is something maybe I didn't value as much before. And I felt that people, though, are crucial to my life. And sometimes I maybe did not pay or give as much attention to people as I'm supposed to. And this is something that I really learned here. And I feel like it's something that is like an eye-opening event for myself.
So before going here, I didn't have any expectations of how it would look like the program itself. Of course, I talked to people who already did it, so I had like an idea of what what we would be doing. You know, I know that we'll be doing classes and that would meet new people, but I didn't expect it to be as good as it is. Like, it's been amazing, and I really recommend it to anyone who wants to engage in such an adventure.
So I was in the engineering department, and during one of the activities there was to do an EVA mission training simulation with the HPS department, and my role was to come up with the mission and develop that mission, and come up with all the different challenges that the aquanauts had to work on, and so something like that was something that was outside of my comfort zone, and so kind of taking charge on that and working on that was very exciting, and I think it kind of transformed my personality a little bit, which was really cool. But overall, I think just the conversations that I get to have with people, like just at lunch or just even like on our walks back from the core lecture phase. Like during the core lectures, we would always walk back from the campus to the hotel, and so on the way back, each time I usually talk with somebody else or meet with somebody else, and you just had conversations during that time. You get to know a lot about people and their outlook on life, and so it's a very interesting and positive experience for me to learn about that.
Very good. Nicely done. And I think that was just 6 perspectives, and so, there's another 80 more. So we hope you guys have time today at some point, either talk to them directly or reach out to them after the fact, because they all have the same kinds of perspectives. So congratulations. Good video, guys. Because of the importance and significance of this event and the impact we have a host of leaders today that really want to step in and say, thank you, and hopefully some goodbyes without tears, so I don't get started. So, and that these leaders, I think, really want to wish you well. I kind of characterize this as launch us into a good orbit. So, our first speaker for the day program is Luciano Rattiati, who represents the General Director of the Brazilian Department of Science and Aerospace Technology, who is Mauricio Augusto Silveira de Medeiros. So let's welcome Luciano to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. My speech was written in Portuguese, but I believe that somebody will help me with the simultaneous translation. Let's get started. O Space Studies Program, SSP, é universalmente reconhecido como o mais proeminente evento de estudos espaciais em nível global, sendo pela primeira vez realizado em solo brasileiro. Por um período de 9 semanas, um grupo de aproximadamente 100 participantes, originários de mais de 30 nações, estiveram em São José dos Campos para aprofundar suas atividades acadêmicas no seio do Instituto Tecnológico de Aeronáutica, o ITA, e do Instituto Nacional de Pesquisas Espaciais, INPE. O encontro de mentes brilhantes, oriundas de distintas nações e culturas, em uma atmosfera de aprendizado mutuamente enriquecedor, não apenas catalisa avanços tecnológicos e científicos, mas também promove uma sinergia essencial para impulsionar a vanguarda da tecnologia aeroespacial. O SSP 23, ao orquestrar o compartilhamento do conhecimento de ponta, instigar debates profundos e estimular a cooperação internacional, incute um profundo impacto no desenvolvimento de soluções inovadoras e sustentáveis para os desafios complexos do universo aeroespacial contemporâneo. O notável sucesso deste evento foi impulsionado pela colaboração de instituições de destaque, tais como o Ministério da Ciência, Tecnologia e Inovação, o MCTI, a Agência Espacial Brasileira, a AEB, representada aqui pelo seu presidente, o Departamento de Ciência e Tecnologia Aeroespacial, DCTA, e a Força Aérea Brasileira, a FAB. Assim, em nome do diretor-geral do DCTA, Tenente Brigadeiro do Ar Maurício Augusto Silveira de Medeiros, Finalizo minhas palavras agradecendo pela presença de todos, especialmente do prefeito de São José dos Campos, Anderson Farias, do reitor do ITA, professor Dr. Anderson Ribeiro Correia, do diretor do INPE, Clésio Marcos de Nardim, do presidente da EB, Marco Antônio Chamon, e do presidente da Câmara Municipal, vereador Roberto do Eleve. Muito obrigado a todos. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you coming here and representing the DCTA with your remarks. Next, we need to return back to our three good friends who represent our host partners, because without, again, like I said earlier, without them and their commitment and dedication and allowing their resources to support SSP 23, it wouldn't have happened. So it's great pleasure that I would like to welcome back to the stage Mayor Anderson Ferreira of the City of São José dos Campos, Rector Anderson Correa of the Aeronautics Institute of Technology, and Director Clésio de Nardim of the National Institute of Space Research. Come and talk.
Então eu vou. Também acho. Obrigado. Good afternoon, everybody. Prefeito Anderson Farias, muito obrigado pela parceria até agora. Obrigado por tudo. Foi um aprendizado. Meu amigo de longa data e meu novo amigo agora, também Anderson, tem nome de prefeito, cuidado. Anderson Correia, reitor do ITA. O brigadeiro Luciano, representando aqui o Medeiros, nosso parceiro também no DCTA, que ajudou junto com a prefeitura, com o ITA, a receber todos os alunos. Meu amigo pessoal, Marco Chamon, que agora tem a honra de dividir a liderança do programa espacial na Agência Espacial Brasileira. Muito obrigado também pela sua presença e pela ajuda da Agência Espacial no contexto do programa. Vereador Roberto do Eleven, que abre a Casa do Povo de São José dos Campos para o povo do mundo vir aqui celebrar com chave de ouro essa cerimônia de encerramento desse importante evento que aconteceu na cidade do meu amigo Anderson aqui, né? Josiel Arruda, presidente da Funcat, obrigado, sempre ajudando, sempre participando dos eventos. Eu vi ele por aqui, não estou vendo onde está sentado, mas está ali. Sempre apoiando com a Fundação, apoiando nossos eventos, ajudando, facilitando o que a gente precisa fazer. Também a Regina Valá, diretora do CEMADEM, que foi tema de um dos TPs de ontem, né? A parte de desastres naturais. Obrigado pela presença aqui. So, thank you very much for coming. I was saluting all the authorities in Portuguese. Now I would just like to, I didn't prepare something written because I would like to talk by heart today. Like we did in Portugal. When we traveled to bring the flag to Brazil. And I remember there, almost a year ago, when we was talking about the Portuguese navigating to Brazil, discovering the new country, which I hope are now yours. So you did what they did more than 500 years ago. So you now discover Brazil as well. So you discover that we can do as much as any other country in the world in the space industry. We cooperate with the space industry and we bring this amazing institution to Brazil as well. Like the SU, the International Space University, bringing the opportunity to embrace all the Brazilian community with you. Not like we do going there and talk about Brazil. Now you could experience what we do here. You could see Some of the industry, not all of them, you could see part of the job that we do in the great University of ITA, and I always say that, if not the best, one of the best of Brazil. You could experience the live in INPE. Of course, the history of space program lies on the back of our institution there. That was well received in this great city of São José dos Campos that grown exponentially in the last 20 years. So I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy. I hope you will miss us. Especially the party, the food, not the job. The job you're going to have time to do to appreciate that when you go back to your countries. I hope you take the best part of Brazil in your heart. Of course, there are some issues here and there, some headaches, some chicken pops. But that's life. That's life. And life happens not only in the virtual world, in the presential world too. So we have great TPs here, coming backwards from the first one. I missed one of those. I wish I could stay. But I saw 3 of the 4 TPs. And it was an amazing job that you did, guys. Now I hope that you not only bind among yourselves, but you bind with Brazil too. You now have another home. You are always welcome here. And I'm not running for the to be the mayor here. I just saying that we like to work with the world in the space industry. We know that the space is no longer a split economic sector. We are part of the infrastructure of the big countries, the countries that would like to lead to the next generation, maybe virtual, maybe in another world, maybe in Mars, maybe in the moon, and we will be part of that. And we'll be a great civilization. So it's fantastic to see different faces from different parts of this one world. Thank you very much for being in Brazil. It was really, and it still is a good pleasure to receive you all here. Thank you very much.
So, good afternoon, everyone. Especially to the SSP students that have finalized this important program. One of the most respected in the world. On behalf of the Aeronautics Institute of Technology, we thank the ISU, International Space University, the opportunity to collaborate with the organization and support of this activity. We have received a tremendous positive input from all participants, especially the ones from ITA, mentioning that the classes and projects were very relevant for their current and future activities. Surely, new partnerships will be developed after SSP in Brazil. ITA and INPE, as well as the Brazilian industry sector, are more connected with important space leaders around the world, which have marked their presence during SSP classes and events. SSP was the biggest international event ever organized by ITA. We are very glad that everything was well, and we thank the local organizing committee that worked hard for all phases, including the conceptual and planning phases. We also acknowledge the support from the CTA, the Aerospace Science and Technology Department of the Brazilian Air Force, represented here by Brigadier Luciano. Thank you. As well as the important partnership with the City Hall, represented here by the Mayor, Anderson Farias, INPE, Dr. Clésio Denardan, Technological Park, Mr. Jefferson, and supporters like the Brazilian Space Agency, the President Marco Chamon, Embraer, Visiona, FAPESP, AIAB, Brazilian Association of Aerospace Companies, represented by our former student here, Cornell. I'm sorry. Marco Polo, and Amazon Web Services, among others. São José dos Campos will not be the same after SSP. The positive atmosphere and events have impacted our population. The highest peak happened during the astronaut panel, when 4,000 kids were present at the Pharmacon Arena. No doubt they will remember this forever, with important impact on their interest for science, engineering, and space. Unfortunately, everything that is good sometimes comes to an end. Actually, the SSP is finalizing, but the connection between alumni continues during the next SSPs and future possibilities for cooperation. There will be a future host of SSP that will be announced soon. It's an honor to transfer the LOC organization to them. Please count on us for any additional support during this transition phase. We hope you guys will one day receive the title of the best SSP ever next year. Like Mariangela always mentioned. So if you agree that we have the best SSP ever, please a round of applause for.
Boa tarde a todos.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Cumprimentar ao James Leves, diretor da SSP 23, que fez aí um brilhante trabalho. Parabéns.
I'd like to introduce, to say hello and thank you to James Lewis.
Isso. A Valanata, que é o chanceler da ISU.
The Chancellor of ISU.
Ao Koktug, que aqui é o nosso diretor operacional da SSP 23. Há um ano estávamos em Portugal, hoje aqui no Brasil, numa realidade, encerrando aí esse belo evento.
To Gokdug, Operational SSP Director. A year ago we were in Portugal having the ceremony.
Ao Anderson Ribeiro, nosso reitor do ITA. Ao Clésio.
Anderson Ribeiro, ITA's Rector.
Ao brigadeiro engenheiro Luciano Valentim, representando aqui o DCTA, e um abraço ao Medeiros.
The representative of the CTA.
Ao Clésio Dinardim, diretor do INPE.
Clésio, INPE's Director.
A qual aqui faço também um cumprimento especial. Clésio e Anderson, as meninas, né, as nossas mulheres, a Mariângela, a Mônica, a Aline na prefeitura. Se não fosse essas mulheres, a Márcia que ali está também, enfim. Vou acabar não falando de todas as mulheres aqui, a Roberta, a Flávia na Fundação Cultural, a Kátia, a Margarete, enfim, você vê que são todas mulheres, hein? Que realmente quem colocou a mão na massa foram as mulheres. E nós, homens, os três aqui, Luciano, ficamos... Enfim, cumprimentar aqui ao Gursen.
So, to all LOC ladies who made this SSP happen to.
Cumprimentar a Gursen Eiren, cônsul aqui geral da República da Turquia.
The Chancellor of the Turkey, the Republic of Turkey.
Marco Chamon, presidente da IAB. Obrigado, parabéns.
Marco Chamon, President of AEB, Brazilian Space Agency.
E aqui cumprimentar a vários que estão aqui representando, os senhores, que é um sindicato nosso aqui de bares e restaurantes, entidades, o pessoal da Sociedade Organizada Civil, a Marco Polo, que também está aqui, o Colégio Alfa Lume, né, aqui assim para ver o quanto esse evento, da sua grandiosidade, de que envolveram várias pessoas para que realmente pudéssemos realizar um evento como este em nossa cidade.
And to all institutions present here that made this event possible.
Ao Edmar José Araújo, que é o nosso prefeito de Monteiro Lobato, que está aqui presente, uma cidade vizinha, obrigado pela presença.
The Mayor of Monteiro Lobato, our neighbor city.
Cumprimentar aqui também o Guilherme, que é o superintendente do Ministério da Agricultura, que está aqui conosco também. Obrigado, Guilherme, pela presença aqui hoje, aproveitando em sua agenda no estado de São Paulo, aqui, né, um campineiro, mas aqui conosco, aqui. Obrigado, viu?
Okay. So, to the representative of the Ministry of Agriculture.
Cumprimentar o Jefferson, o nosso diretor executivo do Parque Tecnológico também, da qual fizemos a nossa recepção e abertura de todo esse evento no Parque Tecnológico. Obrigado, Jefferson. E o Roberto do Eleven, da qual hoje nós fazemos nosso encerramento aqui na Casa do Povo, como bem disse aqui o Clésio, né, para que a gente pudesse encerrar aqui e deixar que as portas sempre estão abertas aqui. Então, obrigado, Eleven, e a todos os vereadores que foram completamente compreensíveis e deram toda a autonomia para que nós pudéssemos realizar esse evento. Obrigado, Roberto.
And to the directors, the presidents of ParkTech and Câmara, we're hosting this ceremony.
Cumprimentar aqui todas as autoridades presentes, civis, militares, em especial aqui a Polícia Militar, parte de Segurança Pública, Coronel Amaral, Coronel aqui Wilker e toda a sua equipe aí, que também nos deram um grande apoio na cidade, né, que como não foi nada de especial do que foi feito, mas sempre, né, com a mesma ação, sempre contribuindo aí pela segurança, né, do bem-estar das pessoas. Obrigado, viu?
To the representative of the security of the city who took care of us during this program.
Cumprimentar todos os secretários aqui do meu time, que está aqui presente, na pessoa da Margarete, secretária de Saúde, a secretária Kátia, de Esportes e Qualidade de Vida, todos os demais secretários que estão aqui acompanhando. Aqui estão quase todos os nossos secretários, porque envolveu toda a estrutura da prefeitura também. Então, quero agradecer a todos vocês e mande o parabéns à equipe, a cada um da equipe de vocês.
And to all the municipality secretariats present and who were involved in the SSP 23.
Depois de 2 anos, depois de 2 meses, aliás, de muito aprendizado, nós estamos concluindo aqui a SSP, a Space Study Program 2023, pela primeira vez realizado no Brasil, no estado de São Paulo, em nossa cidade, São José dos Campos.
After 2 months of learning, we are concluding the SSP Space Studies Program 23 for the first time held in Brazil, in the state of São Paulo, in São José dos Campos.
Foi com muito orgulho, desde o anúncio oficial, que a cidade de São José dos Campos se preparou para receber esse que é o maior evento de estudos espaciais do mundo.
It was with great pride since the official announcement that the city of São José dos Campos has prepared itself to receive the biggest space studies event in the world.
Posso garantir que fizemos todos os esforços para realizarmos um evento bem organizado, com boa infraestrutura, com conectividade e segurança para todos os participantes.
I can assure you that we made every effort to hold a well-organized event with good infrastructure, connectivity and security for all participants.
Recebemos em nossa cidade, nesse período, cerca de 300 pessoas, representando mais de 50 países diferentes, entre cientistas, astronautas, diretores de agências espaciais, especialistas e demais participantes da SSP.
During this period, we received around 300 people from more than 50 different countries in our country.
Foram mais de 1000 horas.
Sorry. Including scientists, astronauts, space agency directors, specialists, and other SSP participants.
Foram mais de 1000 horas de conteúdo acadêmico, abrangendo todas as disciplinas de estudo do espaço e culminando em 4 brilhantes trabalhos de equipes apresentados nesta reta final.
There were more than 1,000 hours of academic content covering all space studies disciplines and culminating in 4 brilliant team projects presented in this final step of the road.
Quero destacar o entusiasmo que a cidade de São José dos Campos e nossa região recepcionou e abraçou o SSP 23, o que transformou o evento em sucesso absoluto de público.
I want to highlight the enthusiasm that the city of São José dos Campos and our region received and embraced the SSP. We turned the event into an absolute success of public.
De acordo com a própria ISU, a Universidade Internacional de Espaço, o painel de astronautas realizado na nossa arena Farmaconde, no dia 5 de julho, reuniu o maior público da história do programa em um único evento.
According to ISU itself, the International Space University, the astronaut panel held at our arena on July 5th gathered the largest audience in the history of the program in a single event.
Tivemos a presença de quase 5.000 pessoas, entre elas cerca de 4.000 alunos da nossa rede municipal de educação, que se encantaram com a presença dos astronautas e suas histórias de vida. Tenho certeza que todos que estavam presentes também levaram esse momento para as suas vidas. E eu quero aqui agradecer em especial ao Jones, ao nosso secretário de Educação, e toda a sua equipe da Secretaria de Educação, da qual organizou e plantou essa semente.
We had the presence of almost 5,000 people, among them about 4,000 students from the municipal education network who were enchanted by the presence of the astronauts and their life stories. I'm sure everyone who was present also took this moment into their lives, and he thanks Professor Jones from the Education Secretariat.
Nossos jovens e estudantes também tiveram a presença marcante entre outros momentos da SSP, como as quartas espaciais, realizadas no Centro de Formação do Educador, e na competição de robótica, realizada no MIC, o nosso Museu Interativo de Ciências.
Our young students also had a strong presence in other moments of the SSP, like the Wednesdays in Space held in the Educators Training Center and the robotics competition held at the Interactive Museum of Science.
Esse é o mais importante legado do SSP. Na minha opinião, plantar uma sementinha no coração de nossas crianças e jovens da relevância e da importância da ciência, da tecnologia e da inovação em nosso tempo e em tempos futuros. A ciência propicia o conhecimento, melhora a educação, possibilita avanços na saúde, enfim, colabora para a qualidade de vida das pessoas.
This is the most important legacy of the SSP, in my opinion, planting a seed in the hearts of our children and young people of the relevance and importance of science, technology, and innovation in our time and in future times. Science provides knowledge, improves education, enables advances in health. In short, it contributes to people's quality of life.
Quero fazer um agradecimento especial aos parceiros dessa jornada, que foram fundamentais nessa empreitada, como o INPE, o ITA e o DCTA. Se não fosse vocês, realmente o evento não estaria nem no Brasil. Então, muito obrigado. A Agência Espacial Brasileira também, que teve seu papel fundamental, e a todos os patrocinadores, que além das suas responsabilidades, dividiram com a Prefeitura de São José dos Campos a incumbência de dar o apoio a um evento tão grandioso.
I'd like to give a special thanks to partners on this journey who were fundamental in this endeavor, such as INPE, ITA, DCTA, the Brazilian Space Agency, and all sponsors who, in addition to their responsibilities, shared with the City Hall, the municipality of São José dos Campos, the task of supporting such a great event.
E ainda um agradecimento mais do que especial à ISU, a Universidade Internacional do Espaço, que depois de uma rigorosa avaliação, confiou à cidade de São José dos Campos, a primeira cidade inteligente do Brasil, certificada pela Associação Brasileira de Normas Técnicas, a possibilidade de sediar e realizar a 35ª edição da SSP 23. E, por fim, quero também registrar que São José dos Campos estará sempre de portas abertas a todos vocês. Sejam sempre muito bem-vindos.
And also a very special thanks to ISU, International Space University, which after rigorous evaluation entrusted the city of São José dos Campos with the first smart city in Brazil certified by the Brazilian Association of Technical Standards, the possibility of hosting and carrying out the 35th edition of the SSP. Finally, I want to register that São José dos Campos will always have its door open to all of you. You are always very welcome.
Muito obrigado a todos.
Thank you very much.
I guess my mic failed. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so very much for the words. Thank you for demonstrating the leadership for your organizations. the support provided to make SSP 23 a huge success, and even for me, a lifetime of memories for everyone. And in fact, G2, now that they said the door's open, maybe we just come back next year. To change the tempo a little bit, we have a cultural performance where I would like to welcome the Maracatu to entertain us with their wonderful cultural performance, and I'm not sure which direction they're coming from. Okay, so I will welcome them to the stage. those things leave me speechless. I think it really sets the bar quite high for the next host city. We'll have to see how we work that out. I was thinking when I was watching that, I was thinking about the humanities department. Where's Harriet? Can I get an amen? That was awesome, wasn't it? Very good, very good. Yet another outstanding cultural performance by a wonderful, put together by our wonderful organizing committee. Again, that's so good. Let's give them another round of applause. That was just outstanding. Wow. So next up in our program, it is with great pleasure to introduce the Chancellor of ISU, Val Nathan Munsami. He traveled all the way in just a day and a half ago from Riyadh to be here to really have a chance to represent ISU and speak to us. So please join me in welcoming Val to the stage. Good luck topping that.
Now I can. So if you just excuse me, I just need to ring the drum beats off my ears. Thank you, the program director, James, the local host, the SSP, ISU faculty, and I think there was an army of support staff in the back end that worked tirelessly, so we want to thank everybody, and including the sponsors as well. But I think most importantly, to acknowledge the SSP, I think soon to be SSP class of 2023. And I know this has been a long road, so congratulations to making it to the end of SSP 2023. We know that this particular occasion, and I've been in that chair, it comes with some mixed emotions. There's a sense of sort of relief in knowing that you've come to the end of the 9 grueling weeks that you've been exposed to. And I know exactly, it's called the No Sleep University, not for nothing. But you'll have to get sort of normalized and go back to reality when you get back home. The second aspect is you have a sense of excitement. It's the graduation ceremony. And I think you now start to appreciate the accomplishments that you've achieved over the 9 weeks, personally to yourself. And I think also there's a sense of sadness because saying goodbye to a set of amazing friends that you've made over the 9 weeks. And but I'm sure, like myself, you'll keep in contact with the network that you've created, and it's an amazing network. So it will take a few days for these emotions to kind of settle down, but just understand from the ISU perspective, you're joining an ISU alumni family of over roughly about 5,500 alumni members, and they come from over 110 different countries. So you're now part of the ISU family. But I think just in terms of reflecting, you're also armed with a sense of understanding and appreciation of what makes the space ecosystem. And normally I refer to the unit of analysis, and you normally speak from your domain perspective or institutional perspective. But you've got essentially a much broader viewpoint coming through to the SSP, and that's looking at the broader space ecosystem. And once you're able to do that, you can navigate much more easily after concluding with your SSP studies. And I remember sitting through, like you, SSP 2009, NASA Ames, which I thought was the best SSP. But I'm told today that SSP 2023 is the best, so I'll accept that. Thanks, James. But when I sat in that chair like you did, I did not realize what a profound effect the SSP would have on my own personal life. I've been able to navigate many different domains. I started off as a space scientist. I worked in policy, I worked in strategy. I'm now looking at space missions, systems engineering. And truly speaking, that happened because of SSP 2009. I had a very narrow view in terms of my own career path, but it broadened that. And I think it's going to do the same for you. But I want to maybe just reflect or give you a piece of advice because it's all about you, essentially. I think you need to keep an open mind in terms of your future career trajectory, because you'll never know where it takes you, especially parts that are that you never thought possible. But also to be a volunteer for new initiatives, as this is the key to opening new doors. And I experienced that. You know, the moment there's a new initiative, you put your hand up, you volunteer, because there's two parts to that. It builds new networks, but it also gives you an incredible learning opportunity, like you've done here at the SSP. But also call out to you to be a mentor as well, to the next cohort of the space workforce that's coming through, as your experience and influence will start to shape the next generation of space experts. And we've seen the previous generation do that. They've engaged with you, and you are now going to take that baton on for the next generation. But also to be an innovator in trying new ways of doing things, especially with the advent of new technologies. And I think this is the first time we talked about the metaverse. It's a little unknown, but it has huge potential. But you know, from your generational perspective, you understand that more than we do from the older generation. And I think that's a tremendous opportunity going forward. But also to be a leader. In my own understanding, a leader is not someone who has many followers, but a true leader is a leader who infuses and develops leaders along the way. So your job as a leader is to develop other leaders, and that's very critical in this day and age. So you need to leave a trail behind you that others could learn from, not just follow from. But I think maybe looking at it from the space sector point of view, we are at a crossroad right now as we speak. And there are many different markers in terms of this crossroad. We see a plethora of mega LEO constellations coming on board that covers Earth observation, communications, LEO PNT, and also many science missions trying to understand the solar terrestrial environment, and obviously the space exploration missions that's going beyond LEO. We're also seeing the emergence, of my last count, of at least 5 new space stations that are coming on track. And we'll see the ISS, I'm not sure, but there's talk that it will be decommissioned in 2030, but it might extend beyond that. But the idea is that there's new space stations that will come on track. And that also gives incredible new opportunities for new space industries as well. We've seen the ISS more focus on the R&D, but I think we're trying to branch out in terms of using microgravity platform for manufacturing as well. So that's going to spurn out a whole new industries, but also complement existing industries like the pharmaceutical industry, and also the sort of metal alloys industry. So we're going to see new materials coming out. So there's a whole vast innovation that's going to be coming out through the microgravity platforms. But this is also complemented by the number of countries that we are seeing that have shown an interest in astronaut missions. The UAE is one. Saudi Arabia, where I work, there was just 2 astronauts, the first Arab female to the ISS. We see Turkey coming online in the next mission, Poland coming through as well. So you're seeing this vast interest of astronauts also coming from other countries. And we see also India has its own independent mission, I think, in the next year to take its first astronaut to orbit as well. And obviously the landing of the Chandrayaan-3 mission earlier this week, or 2 days ago, to the South Pole, actually the first country to land on the South Pole of the moon, but the 4th country in the world to land on the moon in general. So that's amazing. And I must say it was inspiring for me, because I was in India in March through a visit from the Himalayas right to Kerala, the whole country essentially. And I actually saw the Chandrayaan-3 being tested on a shaker. So that was amazing to actually see it land eventually. We also see the Artemis Accord coming through as well, and return of mankind to the moon. And there's many international partners that are kind of working through the Artemis Accord. And not forgetting, obviously, our focus to reach Mars as well. So all of this, if you put them and stack them together, provides an incredible opportunity, especially for you coming through SSP 2023, and also moving through the career path. So all of this requires a growing workforce, and that is set to reach about $1 trillion in the next decade or two. So that's a vastly expanding sector as well. So you are destined to be part of this new history coming through, and obviously your previous educational experience, and now the SSP kind of complementing that and giving you a broader viewpoint and vantage point. So that's also incredible. And so from the ISU perspective, we just want to cherish seeing our alumni actually advance and succeed in the space domain. And obviously in the non-space domain as well, because your skill sets is actually transferable to many other domains. So we want to wish you everything of the best going forward and in your career endeavors, and want to see our alumni shine out there, reaching for the stars. So good luck and Godspeed. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Val. I know you've got to run, you got to catch your plane, so we appreciate all the support, and we look forward to seeing you next year. Our next speaker really is a Brazilian national hero. Needs little introduction. Unfortunately, he could not join us here in person, but he still wanted to send a message to send us off nicely. So please join in as we watch Brazilian Senator and astronaut Marcos Pontes on the big screen.
Hello guys, I hope you had a very beautiful and productive event in São José dos Campos, talking about space, talking about all the professions and all the activities that are connected or related with space exploration. I was really happy to participate in the first panel with my friend Bob Dursky, astronaut from my class in NASA, and I'm sure you learned a lot about the space exploration. I'm sure with you or among you we have future astronauts, engineers, or other professionals to advance or to improve space activities in Brazil and other countries. So congratulations for the event. Thank you for this opportunity of participating in this closing event, and for sure I'll be with you the next time. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Up next, the LOC for us here has compiled and produced their own version of the retrospective, which I think represents very well not the moments inside like you saw earlier, but really the moments outside the program and around the city. So we're going to turn this back over to the video, and we'll get to see that retrospective.
Em 35 anos de existência, essa é a primeira vez que a SSP acontece no Brasil e a segunda na América Latina, sendo que da outra vez teve o Chile como país sede. Um acontecimento importante para a relação de São José dos Campos com a tecnologia.
So in this program there will be around 400 people from almost 50 different nationalities coming. This includes the participants, this includes experts, and there are lots of astronauts, for example, coming, heads of agencies.
A parceria então INPE, ITA e Prefeitura justamente para trazer o programa não só para ficar na parte do estudo espacial, e sim para envolver toda a cidade.
Mas se engana quem pensa que essa daqui vai ser uma sessão de cinema como qualquer outra. A proposta hoje é bem diferente. Esses alunos vão participar, na verdade, de uma sessão de ciências, mais do que especial.
No, actually, there are many different questions, and several of the students talked to me about things that I hadn't been asked before. That's good.
You gotta have hope. And so for me, as a kid, I wanted to be an astronaut and a pilot. And that those dreams sometimes slip away as we become adults. But I never gave up hope. I always had hope that one day that I would make it to space.
Projects like this that I was able to do early in my career that are maybe a little bit more simple and straightforward give you the experience to do the much more complex things we're attempting in the future, like taking astronauts back to the moon. And
I'd like to think that really what we're doing today is, especially for the younger ages that are in this group, they're more like the ages that will be contributing directly to Mars, the design of Mars missions and technology and ships, and likely some of the younger ones will probably be still young enough to actually take a trip to Mars.
Thank you, LLC, for that wonderful perspective. Even for me, I got to see things that I didn't get to see during the program. So thank you for recording that, and thank you for putting it together. So it gives me new memories that I know what really happened on around me. So at this time, I would like to invite the three LOC, the chairs, Luciano, and the LOC team that we've identified to come to the stage, because we have a little bit of stuff that we're going to give you. G2, I need your help. I'm going to go ahead and identify other. Give me 1 second. There were supposed to be other people coming. Fabio, Cristiano, Aretha. They're not here? Aretha's here. Solange? You guys, yeah, Maria, Marcia. We got a big picture to take at the end. Aline, A.D. Milton, Mariangela, and Monica. Y'all should all come to the stage. Oh, yep. So one of the things that we do as a part of the program every year is, obviously there is the poster that represents the program, and so over the course of this week we've printed out those posters, and we had all the participants sign the poster, and these become the big gifts for the organization so that you guys have a good memory of us. So so we're going to individually hand them, and we'll take a picture. Did Fabio make it? Cristiano? I'll come to you. There you go. Aretha? There you go. Solange? There you are. Fatma? There we go. Marcia? Aline? A.D. Milton? Mariangela. Monica. I'm going to do that one for now. Thank you, John. Thank you, Milton. Thank you very much. So this team represents the leadership and all the inspiration and hard work that has gone putting together. So at this point, maybe we could have a good group photo here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you want us to hold those back here, we can. Okay.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
As they disperse, I would like to say, obviously, there were many, many more dedicated representatives and volunteers. I think the last time we actually counted, there probably were over 100 local volunteers. That's probably the biggest LOC in history. I wish we had time probably to acknowledge each and every one, but they know who they are, and they'll get acknowledgement from their organizations. Okay, next up is a very special time that's set aside in each closing ceremony where we invite the person up who was voted as the class speaker for this year's program. This person is a very special person to all of us. She was selected by the participant class because she was engaging and welcoming from the first day. I think in the first hour she approached me, we had a great conversation, and probably was the first time somebody video recorded me real time doing some stuff. So she was encouraging and supporting everybody every day, and she was always in the middle of helping out wherever was needed. It is no doubt that she was selected. So please join with me in welcoming our class speaker, Claudia Medeiros.
Guys. I know, sounds better when Marco said it. Anyway, I represent all of you, so let me use some expressions borrowed from you guys. Oops, sorry. Let's start again. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Claudia Medeiros, and you have chosen me to be your speaker and your class representative. I'm truly delighted for this opportunity. First and foremost, I want to express my gratitude to the International Space University on the persons of James and Godku. You have exceeded our expectations in numerous ways. Without a doubt, this has been the most exceptional space studies program. I extend my special thanks to all the international and local staff members for dedicating your time to help us have, if not the most, one of the most extraordinary experiences in our lives. A special mention goes to Melody. Melody? Where is Melody? Who is an incredible and dedicated woman. Thank you immensely for supporting us in every aspect. I seek permission to utilize this time and space to express my immense pride of my country, Brazil, my city, São José dos Campos, and both institutions, ITA and INPE. As part of a nation that faces various challenges, these institutions and their employees serve as an inspiration to Brazilian citizens. They have opened doors to the world, offering us the best facilities possible within this program. Now let's return to my dear friends, if you allow me to address you such as. For me, the program began even before the first in-person day. I was so eager to be part of SSP 23 that I read everyone's biographies. I started following you on social medias, particularly on platforms like LinkedIn. On the first in-person meeting day at Faro Hotel, special thanks to Faro Hotel for your patience, you know what I mean. The first person that I remember is Carol Carnett. Her friendly and welcome smile immediately put me at ease. I didn't notice the significance of Kahoot at that time. Carol, I still appreciate you, but Kahoot not so much. Carol is one of the dedicated women who generously share her precious time with us. Thank you for that. Meeting my new friends for the first time was a challenge, perhaps for all of us, coming from different countries and cultures. Everyone was striving to understand one another. The opening ceremony was fantastic, with people from diverse nations gathered together. Despite everyone's anticipation of Brazil winter, the term winter experience was conspicuously absent for the initial core lectures. This might be because the program typically takes place in the Northern Hemisphere, where June, July, and August correspond to the summer season. Or maybe they predicted our sun-soaked winter, almost resembling summer. Thanks goodness for that. Canadians, this is definitely true summertime. Yet, everything here is quite busy. Vaccination requirements, ticks, COVID precautions, codes, hurricane, tornadoes, all jumbled into one program. What an incredible and diverse experience. What more could we expect? Core lectures. Someone please bring me coffee. Well, I felt like sleeping, but no, new activities waiting. Kahoot again. Exams, essays, department activities, and the renewed TP. Throughout the program, we engaged in 55 core lectures, delving into subjects ranging from engineering, technology, laws, politics, and economic to space business, humanities in space, communication, medicine, essentially every facet involving human presence in space. A pivotal collective endeavor was the Ruby Goldberg project, which saw us divided into teams. The outcome of each team's efforts reverberates in the final composition of the project, teaching us valuable teamwork skills. We delved into hands-on projects crafting robots, rockets, and balloons. We honored our communication skills by producing podcasts and mastering the art of outreach science. Our lectures with experts from around the globe enriched our understanding. Special thanks for all chairs, speakers, teachers, and associated panelists. In deep departmental activities spanned humanities, engineering, human space exploration, management and business, law, as well as science and space application. The culminating phase, which concluded just yesterday, amalgamated the proficiencies cultivated over preceding weeks, crystallizing into 4 distinct projects: smart cities, water security, metaverse, and space situational awareness. However, this speech is not about those aspects. It's about what isn't covered in the handbook. We woke up together, the corridors and stairs echoing with noise, breakfast routines, waiting for the bus, moments shared, the yellow bikes, cocktails restaurant, and the favorite eatery for Ilma and Diego, the unforgettable dinners at Bagatelle. Everyone knows that pizza with ice cream is a unique experience. Apologize to the Italians. We are the kind of people who make everything about food. Masazumi, where are you? Our sushi might be intrigued, but why not with banana and Nutella? Not so spicy, I agree, but definitively creative. Food is an experience meant to be shared, and we certainly did. The culture night stands out as the most remarkable experience for me. Learning about your cultures, customs, cuisines, drinks, and music, we danced together, shared tears together, and had a blast together. However, you all still need to come to Brazil to learn samba. I can dance it, but teaching you is another story, or maybe it's just an excuse to have you come back again. Each one of you has your own unique experience. Ubatuba trip for 50 people. Concerns about ticks, diving and skydiving. Surfing in Ubatuba, exploring Paraty, Campos do Jordão, São Paulo City. Even though you enjoy it, time was not enough for all of this. Some of you even made it to Iguaçu Falls. I assure you, the Brazilian side is the finest. You encountered capybaras and their ticks, tucanos, reveled the beauty. We ventured to São Francisco Xavier, striving for a stargaze night that the weather refused to grant. But at least we shared time and a delectable dinner. Some of us explored Santos, Minas, and Cachoeira Paulista. We visit numerous companies. We even visit Rio de Janeiro. Who had class of Sugarloaf Mountain? Who lost their cell phone in Rio and miraculously found it upon return? Zontal, it remains a mystery. Who interrupted a bargain process to persuade the other to not make a purchase? Who believed that the waters of Rio de Janeiro weren't cold at all? Who was apprehensive about Rio de Janeiro? Who had the most incredible experience there and wished to return? Who loves açaí? Who adored cachaça? Caipirinha? Passion fruit? And the fusion of both. Passion fruit caipirinha. Yes, these are just glimpses of Brazilian experience. In a cascade of emotion, we gathered to watch the Oppenheimer movie. We convinced the movie theater to show us an English version, just for us. We even watched the Barbie movie, accompanied by stirless military person in a parade during our final days at ITA facilities. The entire São José dos Campos community paused to witness us. The city adorned 2 buses with SSP-23 ISU logos, inspiring the locals and affording them a new, unimaginable opportunity to meet astronauts and panelists. Speaking to an astronaut aboard the International Space Station was an incredible, surreal experience. Never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined such an opportunity. Perhaps one of us will indeed become an astronaut. Don't you? I challenge you. I hope so. Each of us has embraced the mission to uphold the 3 I's: interdisciplinary, international, and intercultural. This has been our way of life for the past 9 weeks, and it will remain our mission forever. Let's take a glimpse of our journey. Please, can you show the video? Yes, we've reached the end. And it's time to return home. But before we do, I have something to say to each one of you. I will mention each of your names, and I will ask you that you stand up and as I call them. Okay? Adrian. Agnello. Aguinaldo. Aida. Alba. Alba. Alejandro. Alexandre. Aline. Anant. Anwar. Arun. Aiberg. Ayush. Brit. Brit? Okay. Colin. Diana. Diego. Dorothea, sorry. Douglas. Elena. Elizabeth. Eres. Farouk. Flávia. Francesca. Georgina. Giovanni. Guilherme. Hannah. Hari. Henrique. Inaldo. Indrani. Ayla. Jaime. James. José Daniel. Joseph. Julian. Kali. Kim. Lauren. Leon. Where is Lauren? Limen. Linda. Lucas. Lucy. Marcelo. Marco. Maria. Marian. Marie Louise. Masazumi. Mercy. Michael. Nigel. Núria. Oscar. Park. Paul. Priscila. Rashita. Rebecca. Safira. Song. Shrejit. Stefan. Tal. Tiba. Tobias. Ton. Torga. Chucha. Tyler. Uma. Yakov. Yang. Yaum. Zontal. I include here Steve, Salvatore, and Avin that are not present. We come here as individuals, but today we stand united as the SSP 23. Each of you will take away the best from this program in your own unique way. Please look around. When you look at each other, remember that you represent this incredible team. We hold in our hands the opportunity to shape the future of the space era. We are privileged to be here when many can only dream of such a chance. We have a responsibility to convey the message that will reshape the world. not confined to just planet Earth, but extending to the entire universe, into a more hospitable place to thrive. I rely on each of you for this odyssey to the cosmos and beyond. Let's strive to make it the most remarkable journey ever. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Claudia. That was wonderful. It's an inspiration to us all. No wonder you were chosen to be the class speaker. So next is the time where we as a program get to acknowledge what we call the winner of this year's Morla Milne Award. This award honors the legacy of Morla. She was a young, dedicated supporter of ISU, and unfortunately she died at a pretty young age. But she was a great supporter of ISU Summers programs. I do wish to acknowledge that everybody worked hard, everybody passed. Good for you. And all the academic activities, all the stuff that led up to the individual projects into the departments, and then in the TP phase as well. Statistically, at the end, it was a very close race, but we do have someone we have picked to be this year's Morla Milne Award winner. But before I announce that, I need to invite a couple of folks to the stage with me. Claudia and Jim Green, if you don't mind coming up, because they'll help do this. So without further ado, this year's winner of the Morla Milne Award is Tolga Ors. Come up. Congratulations. You guys take over.
Yes, thank you very much, James, for giving us the floor and for inviting Tolga. Indeed, as you mentioned, all the participants did a really good job, and we are extremely grateful to all of you for respecting the deadlines, providing all the materials in past. Everyone passed, so it's great. However, within this group of persons that performed excellent, we have Tolga here with us, and from ISU side, we want to have a token of appreciation. Wow. Directly from NASA and from our side, so please enjoy it, and again, congratulations, Tolga.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hold on. So I also would like to give you a special award. This award comes from the Metavisionaries. Now, this is an important award because it doesn't sit on the wall, it doesn't sit on your table, although this is quite beautiful. It really is a view into the future. It will allow us to train astronauts in space. It will allow us to walk on Mars or the moon. It will allow us to build satellites in a collaborative environment around the world. It is an Oculus that allows you to enter the metaverse. Congratulations.
Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Tolga, when we get done, we need to have a group picture. I'll have to get by me there, so we'll get a picture with you. So now we've come to a time in our program where we at ISU begin to look forward to the next year, the next program, to continue the legacy of these special summer programs as was envisioned by the three founders over 35 years ago. It is with great pleasure that I welcome Douglas Terrier, who is actually also a friend of mine, and he actually got here on quite short notice as well. He traveled all the way to San Jose dos Campos from NASA Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas, and he's here on behalf of Vanessa Weitz, the Center Director at Johnson Space Center. So please help me welcome Doug to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and greetings. I bring greetings on behalf of the 60,000 men and women, scientists and engineers of NASA, and the people of Houston, Texas. So it's great to be here. It's my honor to be here with you. And before I begin, I want to start by congratulating this year's graduates. You have done a fantastic job. We are very proud of what ISU and this community is doing, and we also depend on what you're doing. Frankly, we've had some ISU graduates, several through the years, that have come back to Johnson Space Center, come back to NASA, and have provided amazing leadership in various positions across the agency. So we are grateful for what you're doing and for the partnership that we've enjoyed for decades with the International Space University. I want to say that the greatest privilege that we have is we've had this in the past, but I'm here to accept and be honored to say that we are going to be hosting in Houston this program in 2024, and we're super excited about it. I hope it will be the best program at the end of 2024. So let me just say a few remarks before I go on. But before I say anything, I want to say James and I have actually been serving on the executive committee we've been meeting every week or so for the last couple of weeks. We've talked about logistics, the program, the technical stuff, all that we've got it. After seeing that performance, I think I know what next week's meeting subject is going to be about, the cultural event, because I don't know how we're going to top that. That was amazing. We'll have to get some cowboy rodeo stuff or something going on. So, for the past 60 years, Johnson Space Center and NASA have been at the forefront of human exploration of space. And it has been a remarkable 60 years of achievement. If you think about landing the first humans on the moon, 135 flights of the space shuttle, building with our international community, the International Space Station, the most amazing feat of international engineering and technology collaboration in human history. Now 20 years in space, over 2 decades in space, with continuously crewed, performing thousands of experiments for space exploration and for the benefit of life on Earth. And where we're going from here is even more remarkable. We are now on the verge of commercializing space. So we've seen the first commercial flights into space. We're seeing more and more investment, both financial and intellectual investment from the private sector. So we're moving into a new era of space exploration, literally on the dawn of a new age, where we are seeing an exponential development of the cislunar space economy, which today is about $400 billion in value, expected to just balloon to several trillion within the next decade. We are dedicated to ensuring that this international community that we have grown, building on the success of our partnerships in the International Space Station, continues to lead the way forward as we develop cislunar space. And I want to say that when we look at what's crucial, and my job is as the Associate Director for Strategy, is really to chart the way we're developing the architecture for cislunar exploration and development. And when we look at what is key to that maybe is a little bit different than what we've in the past, we have primarily undertaken the development of and exploration of space as primarily government bodies, with a few select countries really enjoying the majority of the activity. That is no longer the case. We're welcoming emerging countries into the spacefaring nations. Artemis Accords, you mentioned before, is very key to that. We are very delighted to welcome into that community the growing number of spacefaring nations. There is no path forward that does not include a partnership and a fellowship of the international community as we develop cislunar space. We're also going to be seeing a lot more participation from the commercial sector, so we need to understand how public-private partners work together, as well as completely separate private sector enterprises that will continue to develop in space. We will need leadership of a new kind to see that very diverse and multifaceted space exploration program really be successful. The kind of leadership that we are learning, that we're seeing in the leaders that develop here today. So I'm very delighted to be here with you. We're looking forward to the great things that the leaders we met today will do to shape that future. And I want to close by maybe building off what Mr. Mayor, what you said. You pointed out that, you know, pioneers 500 years ago sailed across the ocean to develop this continent that we all enjoy and the life we enjoy today. And we are literally on the cusp of a new generation really sailing across space to develop a new frontier. And it is vitally important that to realize that the leaders we develop today in this community, across our international partnership, will shape that future. Literally, we will steer the voyage of humanity into cislunar space and beyond into the solar system. We will shape the future that the generations ahead will look back and say 500 years ago we came across space to develop this land. So I want to just leave you with the thought of, you know, maybe more important than our technical collaboration, and I heard a lot of that in the speech by the class earlier, is the friendship and the community and the collaboration that we develop, and taking those values with us to shape the future for our generations to come. So thank you all for the great work that you do. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of this great international community, and let's look forward to the best program in Houston 2024. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming and representing the host site. I thought we had a slide someplace we were going to show. Do we not have the Houston slide? So because this came on so fast, we hadn't really had time to put together the poster like you guys saw that was signed earlier. So just some simple representation, just to really kind of set the visual tone for Houston for next year. As a part of a transition from 23 to 24, we have a tradition here where the two host organizations exchange the ISU flag, which really represents the official handoff between the best SSP ever to the next best SSP ever. So, Clesio, if you'll join me up on the stage. Oh, yeah. If you guys can hand this over to Houston.
It's just like the Olympics.
It's not so easy to be the best SP, you know? It's hard.
We got some other flags coming here, so hang on.
Entrega aí, Anderson, vamos entregar para
entregar.
Hang on, we got some other flags here.
Okay. So, officially, it's yours now.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
We will honor this. Thank you so much.
Good luck. Good luck. Let's take a picture
Thank
with
you
the
so
flag.
much. Don't go. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, let's get a picture here between the flags.
Okay. Well, a little bit more. Okay.
Thanks, James.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
very
All
much.
right, thank you very much. Good luck. I wish you all the best. We'll do our best.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Yeah, thank you very much. Doug, let's not lose that on the way home. So it's official. The handoff has been made. We're really looking forward. In fact, several of us on the staff and the team, Doug mentioned folks back home, they're already working furiously to put the next program together. And unlike Brazil, they've had a couple years to do it. We've got about 9 months. So we may be reaching back for, suggestions and expertise. So thank you very much. In a minute, I'm going to invite what we call the mission control team to come to the stage for a group photo. We do this to recognize the efforts of the team that have really spent so much time planning and preparing this year's SSP. As you in the audience, especially participants, know, while the day of the participants can every once in a while be a little long, it is longer for the program staff because they start in the morning and they end late at night after the participants' jobs or their classes are over. So, countless evenings and even weekends are spent finalizing preparations, the next days or the next week's activities, often adjusting real time based on things like food and buses and those things that we've sort of had to make sure work for the program. So we'd like to take the time now to invite the MCT to the stage for a group photo, please. Come on, team. Most of these people, some of you may have never seen. Let's just stand. We got enough room? Oh, maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. I guess move down. You get it with you. This is your mission control team for SSP-23. Thanks, everybody. Thank you very much. Go get your bags packed. We're headed to Houston. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We'll have a special internal ceremony for our team where we'll acknowledge all of them. So again, kind of wrapping things up here, get more towards the end of the program. Again, I do want to once again offer the humblest gratitude to all the gracious and wonderful Brazilian hosts, really our friends and our family now. Ita, Inpe, São José dos Campos, all of the wonderful citizens here of the municipality in Sao Paulo and Brazil who have met us every day with smiles and open arms in every single place that we went. Thank you. Thank you. Huge thanks again to all the sponsors, including the municipality, because that's the glue that held everything together. All the stuff that we had to do was supported by the municipality. Thank you. Again, sort of generically or summary, again, thanks to all the staff, all the TAs, the leads, the liaisons, to all the members of the LOC, to all the volunteers that you really haven't seen tonight. Give my personal thanks really to a few people. I can't really name everybody, but for me, that daily support team for me was, Gaktu and Melody and Tanya and Claudia and Alex and Jen. Thank you so much for making this program work. The one other person I want to give very special thanks to is Chef A. I don't know where she's at, but she does a real good job of making me look good up here. So, thank you, team. Very well done. See you over there. So next, almost to the end again, I do want to circle back to our participants. They're the reason that we're here. As I said back in the opening ceremony, and I repeat now, all of this happened, all the effort, all the volunteerism, all of the late nights on staff, all of the early mornings, all of this was done for you guys. So now it's up for you to decide what's next. How has this changed you? I encourage each of you to stay connected, stay engaged within the ISNU network. Stay in touch with your new brothers and sisters. Don't be afraid to ask. If you need help, reach out. There's probably somebody in one of these 112, 14 nations around the world that can actually wants to help you. So don't forget that. Don't be afraid to ask for help. So really, please go out and do really big things. We're expecting it of you. As you may recall, at the end of the opening ceremony, kind of in fun, I invoked the famous dialogue from the US TV show series Star Trek. And I'll repeat what I said, and then I'm going to add to it. Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship SSP-23. Its 9-week mission in Brazil was to explore strange new knowledge in search of new lives and new careers, and to boldly go where their destinies take them. I have some exciting news for you. Your 9-week training mission is over. You have all graduated the academy and you have all survived. And the real mission begins today. And allow me to be funny one more time. Live long and prosper. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and good afternoon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.